Hey everybody, this is Tank and Trucker, and I'm going to do a review on a tank that I have never reviewed, which I was kind of surprised. I went through it, and I'm trying to get some of the premium tanks that I haven't reviewed that way. If you're kind of new to the world of tanks and you're looking at getting one, you're like, that way you can see if it's worth it or not. And this is the Super Pershing. It is a medium, and you get 1,500 hit points, which is pretty good for a medium, tier 8. Um, and even though we'll go over the armor, it's really worth the money. It really is. I highly recommend getting this tank. But let's go over it. So, anyways, it's a medium, 1,500 hit points for your uh, hull armor and your turret armor. You got 101 in the front, 76 on the side for both your hull and your turret. And on your hull, you have 50 in the back and 76 on your turret. Now, those sound like low numbers on your hull and your turret, but it's got spaced armor. You can see this armor plate here, and there's that space right there, and that's the regular armor behind it. So if somebody shoots you with heat, send them a message, say thank you, because heat's not going to penetrate this. HE, shoot HE, let them shoot HE at you all day long. It's just going to splash you for a little bit because it's going to hit these outer plates of armor on your turret. See those right there? You got one here, and goes off the front and off the side. Here's a better view of it. You can see. So if a heat round hits that, it just explodes on the outside, does nothing. If an HE round hits it, it might do a little bit of splash damage, but I'm talking very minimal. Um, Now AP rounds and APCR can pen you, but it still has to go through, 2 plates of armor. This plate, and then it has to go through your turret armor, and same with your hull. So a lot of times you can still bounce, or they will penetrate the outer piece of armor and not penetrate the inner piece. So you'll see a pen mark here, but when it goes through, it doesn't do anything. It dies out and doesn't penetrate your tank. Um, so yeah, the spaced armor is, you gotta love it. You really do. Unfortunately, this actually used to have a second plate of armor on the hull. I don't think it had it on the turret. It was just the hull, and you could actually see the second plate in there. They nerfed it, and they took that second plate out, and I was kind of bummed that they did that, because that really weakened the hull up. But it's still pretty strong. But it was just a lot nicer with that second plate in there, because then you would bounce a lot of your standard AP and your APCR rounds too. I mean, people would sit there pounding your tank and you'd see it shaking because, I mean, you're just getting hit by so many rounds and they were just bouncing like crazy. So anyways, let's go over the gun a little bit. They just buffed it, which is nice. The standard round was at, I believe it was 183. I think that's what the penetration was, and they bumped it to 192. And your premium round is APCR, which is phenomenal at 258 pen. And those 2 rounds do 240 average damage, and you get a HE shell that does 45 pen and 320 damage if you penetrate fully. Average damage per minute is 1756, dispersion is 0.38, and your aim time is 2.3 seconds. Now that's stock, kind of the way it's set up. Now I got a pretty decent crew in this, and somebody asked me, they're like, how do you get that to 116? I only got mine at 110. If you add the vents to it, that'll bump your whole crew, except for, I believe, the commander gets it too. That's why he's at 105. It bumps them up to 116 though, so gives them better aim. The tank steers better, moves faster, well, blah blah blah. So anyways, on my stats, my rate of fire is actually 8.67 rounds a minute, and my reload is 6.9 seconds. Turret traverse is 25.6, and the hull traverse is 34.13. So you got to watch it. Try and stay away from your fast scouts, fast movers, because they can circle you. It doesn't really traverse really fast. If they try, turn both your hull and your turret at the same time if you can. If they track you, you're going to be in some trouble. So, try and keep your distance from the fast movers if you can. Or if you have to, back up to a rock, a building, something that they can't, destruct, and that way they can't circle you, so. And anyways, you get really good gun depression at -10 and +20. My aim time is 1.96, so you can see the difference between the stock being 2.3 and mine being 1.96, and my dispersion is 0.36 compared to the 3.8. So yeah, having a decent crew can actually really help those numbers out. Makes you a lot more accurate and stuff. So my average damage per minute is 2,081. Weight limit is a 51-ton tank, so you don't hesitate to ram people with this thing. You'll mess them up. Even though it's a medium, it is really well armored. You get a 500 horsepower engine, which I wish that was more like 1,000 because it is slow. Your specific power to rate is pitiful. It's 9.8, and it runs like a heavy. To me, it feels like I'm driving my Moss. It really does. It's slow, and it's just slow, but it's heavy, obviously. Top speed is 40.2 kph in forward and 18 in reverse. You'll get up to that 40 on, kind of downhills, but straightaways and uphills, you ain't going to see that. Concealment on mine's actually pretty good at 17.7, but I have one of my crew members working on camouflage, so, that's probably what's bringing that number up a little bit. View range is 413, which is pretty good. I mean, you could probably take out the vents if you wanted to and use coated optics or binocular telescopes. I'd say coated optics because you're going to be moving more than anything with this since it's so slow. And the coated optics stay on where the binocular telescopes obviously shut off when you move. I just like having the vents because it does bump those numbers up, and then it helps your aim time and your dispersion and all that stuff. Signal range is 795, which is pretty standard for a Tier 8 tank in general. So if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have a replay for you, so just hold on, and I will be right back. So here we are on Live Oaks. Now, at first I was thinking, I'm going to go city. But after looking at the amount of medium tanks that they had, I had a good suspicion that they were really going to push tracks, so I decided to go tracks. Let's go ahead and kind of scoot the timer up here.
Let's get this show on the road.
As I get run over by the OI behind me. See, and you can see when the Super Pershing, I mean, I'm only doing 25, 26, and I'm going downhill. I'm up to about 30. So downhill, you can get up to that 40 kilometers an hour. Now, when you hit the water, oh yeah, different story. So it's 59.16. I give him credit for trying to light up. Got knocked out just as I shot, so I could have got that kill, but you can see I'm only doing 14 here in the water, and then this OI decides to push up against me. It's like, gee, thanks for that, buddy. You can see it's just slow. I mean, I'm doing 14. It's like agonizingly slow when you hit hills. I want to get up there and help the 54 Mod 1 and the M41 Bulldog and the AMX. And, we just lost our AMX, I believe. Yep, we just lost our AMX. It's just for a medium. I mean, I got heavies beating me up. Look at this. I mean, this OI's keeping up with me. This KV85, he's beat me up the hill here. I mean, this thing, it is slow. But, I'm not really going to complain too much because the armor on this is phenomenal. And you'll see here in a few minutes just how phenomenal it is. Now, normally I don't use auto aim, but I didn't want to stop, but not in this. It's just I wanted to get over here and, help the Bulldog get him knocked out and get over here and try working on this Panton now. Now, I hit the water, and this is where I kind of screw up. I shot the dead tank. Oops. So I want to keep my front facing them, but look how dreadfully slow this thing turns. I tried knocking that 2801's track off, but he got backed up just as I was shooting, so I didn't get to knock his track off. But up a hill we go at 9 kilometers an hour, and it's going to slow down here in a minute. So yeah, hills are not your friend. But like I said, with the extra armor you get, it's well worth it. It really is. Now, some at the base, I want to kind of see. I believe it was their STRV 74. I want to see where the heck he was penning me, because he actually. So I knocked out their Chaffee there, and then this is at. Okay, where did he must have hit me in this. Oh, yep, hit me in the lower, right underneath that plate. So you can see him shooting underneath the spaced armor. That's why they're penning me right there. I was trying to get a shot at that Tiger too to knock him out, but I took 2 rounds of damage from trying to get a shot on him, so just wasn't worth it. I want to see where he hit me there too, guys. Yeah, hit me right here. So that's how he was getting through the armor on this. Because you can see I got right here, hit right here, but it didn't go through. It didn't pen. For one, it has to go through that plate there. Plus, it's going through trying to go through the thickest part of your turret armor right there. So I know that round didn't pen. I think he shoots at me one more time. I just want to see where he's shooting at me here. So that Scorpion's, that's the guy I was talking about. So he's staying right behind me, so I'll take the damage. So where did he hit me? It looks like he hit me in the lower plate there. Either that, oh no, maybe he hit me right here. Right on that spaced armor, that's why it didn't pen. So that's what I'm trying to show you. As you can see there, it hit the spaced armor. But if you look at the other side of the spaced armor, kind of hard, but it didn't go through. But anyways, enough of that. We'll go to the review now so you can see. But I got an OI behind me, 237 behind me. I think the Leo was behind me, and then the Scorpion, he was sitting right there. But I think he just takes off. See, I kind of got what his pattern was. He would wait a second, and then he'd pull forward. So I was smart, and I started stopping as soon as I'd see him move, so I was aimed in. And you'll see me wiggle on the turret. One of the weak spots a lot of people aim for on your Super Pershing is they'll aim for these two. These are hydraulics that lift up your gun, your turret, and whatnot. But what it does, they shoot at this, and it actually doesn't penetrate that. It penetrates the turret behind it right here. So what you want to do is, like I was doing, you'll see me wiggle the turret back and forth so they can't get a good aim on that and hit you. Now this is the stupid shot here. Was I aimed at his lower plate, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Jeff? You aim at the cheeks on the turret. You'll see me shoot right in the cheek there. Boom, right through his, right through the cheek. It'll go through there most every time. I was glad that the low was up here, but even with him up there, it just, I tell you, you feel like you're alone a lot of times when it doesn't seem like your team's doing much of anything. Because I think he actually falls back. There's that poor Leo I did the review on. The other thing is just the gun on that's just a pile of crap. Sorry guys, I'm gonna take a peek for a second. I want to see what is behind me. Alright, so the low is there and he is backing off. The OI, that's why he stayed back. He's only got 16 hit points. And then the Scorpion, he's way back. He takes off. He's just no help. And then we had a T-20, T-28 Proto, and a T-29 in the city with one tank. And our MO1 looked like he was trying to take on one tank there. It's like these 3 guys needed to push in there, take him out, come out of the city, help the MO1, take that one T1, was it 121? 111, I'm sorry. What am I seeing? Oh, that's a T-29. Oh my god, I'm sorry. The 111's in the city. That's the T-29. That MO1 could have just raped that T-29 then. Just bigger than crap. And I kept seeing that T-29 set over there. I actually got a shot in the side of that T-29's turret. But This is where you got to be really careful because T29 can shoot at you. The MO1 can shoot at me. The Leo can shoot at me. STR V74 can shoot at me. The Leo is still alive. Whoops, he's right there. He can shoot at me. And the T28 Proto can shoot at me. So you really got to watch how you're angling your armor and wiggling, and just you don't want to just give him. You don't want to give him easy shots. So I was able to take the Leo out. He popped out just a wee bit too far. Unfortunately, that gave a spot for. They hit him right in the cheek and still penned him. But that gave a little bit of cover for that STR V74. Now I'm trying to watch two different places so that I don't get shot in the side. I saw that T-29. My aim time isn't too bad. He comes up and I'm able to pop one in his turret. Want to reach out and give him a little bit of loving. I thought this one was going to pen here, but just didn't hit the cheek in the right spot, unfortunately. So we got our 3 kills. We're up to 2735 in damage, and we've blocked 1870. See, that Leo was there, so I couldn't really get a good shot on him. Or the dead Leo, the dead tank was there, so I couldn't get a good shot on him. Leo, I punch one at him and misses. I shot at the T-29, and that cost me getting penned there in the side by the prototype. And then this ML1 comes up. You'll see me really start to wiggle out because he's starting to try and shoot at my turret and stuff, so I'm just wiggling the tank, wiggling the turret. They ended up killing something behind me. Must have been the OI. Yeah. Now the turret on, don't even waste your ammo on the turret of an ML1, ML2, Kranwagen. You're not going to pen the turret. You're just not going to, plain and simple. And the commander's hatches, unless you have pinpoint accuracy on your aiming, that's the only way you're going to hit the commander's hatch on those things. But the Elmo was smart. He was keeping his hull hidden behind that rock there, so he just couldn't get a shot on it. Unfortunately, he was able to put one through. I think that actually hit me in the commander's hatch. That weak spot right here I was telling you about. I stopped, take aim in on him, and he was already aimed in on that. Plugged me and took me out. We ended up winning this match, but you know, we're losing people because the guys in the city, like this T-28 and our ML and stuff and the T-29, I mean, push for the love of God. I mean, they sat back there and they're absolutely no help. The low is up here. He's backed up now because he's almost dead. And then our useless Scorpion that I was like, where in the hell is this idiot going? So I wanted to see what he was doing, so I just went on him just to see if, I mean, he was like no help. I mean, literally no help. So it looks like we just lost our low. The ML1, if you shoot premium rounds in that, it's got a pretty good gun. Premium rounds. Standard rounds, they suck. Let's see, like the Scorpion. He's doing absolutely nothing to help the team. It's people like this that I always seem to get on my team, and they're just useless. And that's what I said. You can see me down here. I typed, you all need to push them at the same time, so when he's reloading, you can kill him. I'm talking about the ML1. But one would go in, and he'd kill him and go back and reload, because it's like a 23-second reload, I think. And they actually listen. I was surprised. You can see the prototype, the ML1, and slowly but surely the T-29 are moving in. Not the Scorpion. He's just going to go lollygag, go around and, you know, go sightseeing and not help. So he was just, you know, I even said push Scorpion right here, you'll see. But no, not. He's just going to sit there and he's going to look at butterflies. And I'm sorry, but I mean, if it's a cat, it's a cat, and I'll call it a cat. And he is useless and a pile of shit for a player. I mean, he could have the best stats in the world, and I would have still had the same opinion of him the way he's playing. Look at him. He's going back down the hill over there. Doing nothing. You ain't going to help the team doing that. They got an MO1 left. We've got 3 tanks, including that person. And watch what he does. He comes up behind them. After these two do all the work to actually get them whittled down to nothing. Normally I would have stopped the review, but I just wanted you guys to see what this Scorpion does. What a great player he is. So these two have getting this MO1 pretty tore up. Looks like both of them are reloading. And then here comes the Scorpion that has done nothing the whole game. And steals the kill. Oh, yay for me. I did nothing the whole game, and I'm going to steal the kill. I mean, my God, that prototype and the MO1, both, one of those two deserve the kill, not that player. God. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete's. Anyways, that was the match. So if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have the post-game stats for you in just a minute. Hey, everybody. So this is the results of that match. It was a Mastery Badge Class 1, Spotter, Fire for Effect, and a Confederate. To be honest with you, that is pretty sad that me in a Super Pershing, even though it's a medium, you play like a heavy and it's as slow as a heavy, that I got a frickin' Spotter. Towards the end of the match, you could see that the guys in the city were sitting there doing nothing but sitting there. The guys that were behind me were doing nothing but sitting there. And it gets real irritating when you've got 3, let's see, there was the T-28, oh, what else was there? The STRV, the Leo, and there was one more, the MO1. So there was like 4 tanks sitting there, and I'm popping out, shooting at. I'm not seeing any rounds fly at them, but the ones that I'm shooting at them. You know, that is just a piss poor team. I mean, at the end, after I got knocked out, I'm like, you all need to push. You know, City, you're just sitting there. You need to push. And the very end of the match, the Scorpion was just worthless. I mean, beyond freaking worthless. And, you know, I don't usually call people out, but when you deserve it, you deserve it. And he deserves to get called out because he sucked ass. And then at the end, he freaking rolls up and steals the kill from the 2 guys, the T-28 Proto and the MO1 that were taking out the other MO1. One of those 2 deserves the kill, and that little ass monkey freaking pulls in and shoots him in the ass and steals the kill. After he was worthless and did shit the whole match. I mean, that guy did 701 damage and got 1 kill. And the 1 kill was the one he stole at the very end. And I went and looked at his stats, and he sucks. I mean, he's got 11,000 battles, and his biggest tank is a Tier 8 Premium. He has no 9s, no 10s. He's a wannabe seal clubber that doesn't even know how to seal club because he plays all small tier stuff, and his best win rate is like a 35 or 38% win rate. I mean, the guy just needs to uninstall the game, plain and simple. People like that just irritate me because they're worthless. They don't even they take up space. They take up a tank that's on your team that's going to sit there and do nothing throughout the whole match, and you know, he gets carried. It just, yeah, I'm sorry, it just irritates me. But anyways, we'll go over this real quick. So I hit the 59 Patton in the track and hit him for 240. Now remember, 240 is the average damage on this gun, if I remember right. Yep. So I hit that one right on the money for the average damage. The T-28 Prototype, bounced a couple rounds from him, knocked out his loader, and did 763. The best place, the first shot, I don't know what I was thinking. I shot him right in the flat frontal armor of that, and that's the thickest part. And then I remembered shoot at the cheeks. You shoot at the cheeks of the turret, and that's, you know, you'll pen pretty much every time. The T-29, I hit him in the side of the turret for 220, so low roll on that one. The Leo, knocked out his track, hit him 2 times for 466 and killed him. the STRV, bounced some rounds from him, hit him twice for 464. Their 3001D hit him once for 208 and killed him. That's why I was so low. 5916, I hit him right in the very beginning of the match with 251, so got a nice roll there. 2801 for 259, so nice roll on him. And their Chaffee hit him for 137 and knocked him out. And I actually spotted that. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought it was a 5916 in the beginning that I shot. I thought I spotted him, I guess not. But, here I'm in one of the slower of slow mediums. Like I said, it plays more like a heavy, and I ended up spotting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the guys. Yep, spotted him, spotted him, spotted him, spotted him, and spotted him. Because some of them, it's you knock off the track and that'll light that up too. But I ended up spotting those guys. And a friggin' medium is slower than hell. That shows you what kind of great scouts we had. Pitiful. So, anyways, I did third most damage at 3,008 and got 3 kills. And that Confederate match, my base experience was 1,189, which I think was the most. Yeah. I had 23 shots, 16 hit, and 13 pen. So, and I shot all premium rounds. I didn't even waste my time with standard rounds because with the T-28 prototype there, I just knew it wasn't going to pen him with the standard rounds. And I wanted to make sure I was going to pen what was in front of me because obviously I wasn't getting any help from the morons behind me. God, what a friggin' team, I tell you. I did some of the damage over 300 meters, 608. I got hit 16 times, 6 rounds penned, 10 bounced, and so I bounced 2,510 damage. Damage 9, destroyed 3. Damage caused by my assistants from knocking off tracks was 1,646. Made 112,811 credits, which was really good. And our team had some thing popped to help give you a little bit more. So the amount that I made total was 121,836, but with all the premium I shot, 101,200, I still made 8,388. I'm not going to complain, considering we won the amount of damage I did. I just know with the standard rounds, even though they did buff the gun on the standard rounds to 192 with what was in front of me, with the T-28 prototype, I definitely didn't want to have a standard round in there, have him pop out, and just keep bouncing off him. Because it's irritating. And I just wanted to make sure whatever did pop out, I was able to penetrate and knock it out or just keep damaging it. Because I felt like I was by myself. I mean, I was looking at the mini-map and I saw tanks behind me and I just did not see shells coming from behind me. It was like, until I saw the low pop out finally. But literally, I felt like I was by myself that whole match. So anyways, that's the Super Pershing, and I really highly recommend getting it. The hull armor and turret armor doesn't look like a lot, but it's got spaced armor, so that really helps out a ton. But anyways, this is Tank and Trucker. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like button down below, and please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you aboard. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.